close out the series. Okay. A huge surprise in the
Today, we're going to break down how EG farmed Edward Gaming by changing only one agent. EG played Pearl in both of their group stage matches, but hid their pocket pick, Yoru. They waited until playoffs with everything on the line to bring out a curveball, and then they stomped even harder. And it's not a simple substitution between two duelists either. They play Yoru in such an aggressive way compared to the informational game they play with KO. Starting in the pistol round, EG has something cooking with their Yoru. Ethan has this TP lineup from B that goes all the way to dugout on A, which he uses a bunch throughout the match. This allows him to play super aggressive B main without the downside of weakening their A rotate. And that comes into play this round, because as soon as Demon 1 hears the attacker's Skydog, Ethan takes the gate crash back to A. Jet and Astra wait for Yoru to get close, and then they re-aggress with A main with 3 players.
Are they walking this?
They're going to brawl on it at the very least, and it's an effective trade, 2 for 1, but now they
Essentially, Yoru allowed EG to take full B control with 3 players, and then do the same at A, all within the first 35 seconds of the round. EG set themselves up perfectly in the early round, but after they elect to give up CT, they need to push through 2 smokes into a crossfire as the spike ticks down. Losing a round they probably should have won.
now going to be pressured. You can see it. EDG defending well. Perfect defense.
After trading ecos back and forth, it's round 6 at 3-2, and EG have the opportunity to stabilize. Again, Ethan has his TP lineup all the way at A and is playing long B, except for the first time this game, EDG are going B long into Ethan. He takes a clean kill and instantly TPs out, giving EG a 5v4. Both teams prepare the KJ ult, but notice how Boostio delays his for a few seconds to bait Edward Gaming in and stagger the utils. In the meantime, this smoke allows Ethan, who ran all the way back to A, to sneak back into halls. Ethan gets traded, but by then, the round is over. EDG are stuck in the KJ ult, with a flank holding their exit, and their Jet lurking all the way at A.
There was no escape. 10 seconds behind them.
EG win the anti-eco, putting them up 5-2, with a chance to take a demanding lead. And guess what? EDG is headed into Ethan's Yoru again, except this time, they try to crunch through street. Ethan fakes and refreshes his TP, allowing him to stay close B long for longer.
Chance to reset his TP actually.
2 down long, 3 through short, and Boostio committing to the same smoke.
But as soon as Boostio gets his pick, Ethan knows he doesn't need to risk the fight long, and TPs back to fight the 3v1 street with his team. EDG could not time their B split because of Ethan's presence long delayed the attack without giving them anything to fight. EG lose 2 man advantage rounds, and the game feels like it's evening out. It's 6-4, and EG switch it up with Yoru over towards A. He uses a pop flash to get fast control, and when they see no contact, Ethan insta-TPs back to B site. After 2 close shots, Demon 1 gets an opening, and EG's 3-man B hold is enough to push EDG back. They run the spike all the way back to A, but at this point, there's no time left. They're forced to plant inside of the KJ ult, and then push back through an Astra wall into all of EG. The early info in this round allowed Yoru to stop a B push, then come back to A again before the hit.
Sealing shut the A site. We're gonna try and get straight onto this.
They can at least get half. Someone's got to walk the wall. And Demon 1's about to do it himself, finds an angle to play on, and no one's stopping Jorgamo. Defuse right under the...
Moving on to attack, even at 8-4, the game is all but over. Foot pulled Pearl into an OT on their defense after a 9-3 bullying by EG. Interestingly, in both of the first 2 rounds, EG smoke here early in addition to the default recall smoke we all know about. This allows them to cross without being seen, but then have an isolated fight on the close player who would be scanned by this Sova dart. In my opinion, EG is the team to learn from for using Initiator Util in set plays. They end up feeling the B pressure and rotate back to A, which times perfectly with the Sova recharge. Ethan TPs into default with a flash, calm darts all of dugout, which could give Ethan a spam kill if anyone was there, and then they just mop up the ecos.
Taking him down this time. Little bit vulnerable. position though, this is hard. That's a really hard fight to win, especially against the Bulldog. And nobody's chances dwindle. Reveal.
After losing their bonus, EG are up 10-5 with a chance to reset Edward Gaming. They play a slow early round, but keep an eye on the A orb for their exec. At the highest level, the players are hyper aware of ult orbs even if they're not in range to hear them. EG knows this, so they wait until their team is ready to take, and then they pick up the orb and insta-ult before the defense can react.
Seriously, ult for Ethan. Didn't get picked up, didn't get checked on.
He's going to scan out into dugout potentially.
Yeah, looks like it. Two players there, big info to be had. They know exactly what's going on here. Can he find any more? He's showing
The Yoru ult confirms an entry, and EG set up this nasty crossfire to close out the round.
Battling it out on the side, brutality at its most, leaving Demon 1 and Ethan with it all to do. Good crossfire, great positioning, better shots, and now the 1v1. Look at the HP on Smoggy. He's down to 17. A stiff breeze might make him fall over. Can he force Ethan away?
This forces an EDG timeout, and what does EG do after it? Well, of course, they disrespect them with a Yoru TP. Demon 1 holds W, and Ethan TPs behind the aggressive defense with a flash.
Demon 1, first challenger, flashed up, found, taken down, follow up for Ethan, he's got them all dead!
The Yoru comp is such a strategic advantage for EG going forward in playoffs because every team will need to consider both versions of their comp in prep. And for their inevitable rematch versus Fnatic, which could happen in any of these three games, EG is going to have an insane edge up. Fnatic just don't play Pearl. It's always been their insta-ban. And coming from the upper bracket, EG will have the 2-ban advantage over Fnatic if they meet in either of these two games. They could force Fnatic to play Pearl and Fracture, which EG should have a huge advantage on.